No one can predict the future. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, at the end of the day, it's not possible to know the outcome of every decision you made. But the reality is, the smallest changes can have the biggest effects on the future. This was the case for the Saiyan race. When Bardock knew about Frieza's plans and tried to stop him, but no one from his race believed him. If they all believed him and launched a strike at Frieza, they might have lived. But what if that actually happened? What if the Saiyans won against Frieza by Bardock becoming the king of all Saiyans? What will happen after? This is that story. To know what's going on, Bardock now became the king of the Saiyans by defying King Vegeta and beating him. That way he became the king and saved the Saiyan race by launching a surprise attack at Frieza. This manga is from Dragon Ball Multiverse. This is a fan-made manga. Don't take it as canon. It's about a new Saiyan king that will lead the Saiyans to flourish and spread their influence throughout the universe. With that, our story begins. We begin the events with Raditz, where he's training on planet Frieza. We see him as a kid here. Now the events are after that Bardock saved the Saiyan race and killed Frieza. He has summoned Raditz back to the planet. On another planet, they just want to negotiate with the new king. But Vegeta isn't here to listen to that, so he takes care of him. Nappa refers to Vegeta as the prince, but Vegeta in this timeline isn't the prince anymore. He tells him, "Don't call me that. My pathetic father is nothing now." Now that his father, King Vegeta, isn't the king anymore, he means nothing to him. He doesn't want anything to do with him now. As he says, now that he isn't the prince anymore, it's time for him to become the king. We go 2 years to the future, where the Frieza Empire became the Saiyans Empire. We see the new king with the old king. As Bardock says, the Saiyans don't know how to lead armies. They are just an individual beings that just want power for themselves. He says that Cooler, Frieza's brother, is arriving soon. It's a vision of the future. As he's sitting there, Hanesha, one of the Saiyans that helped to defeat Frieza, is there. She will defy him for the throne tomorrow. The next day arrives. Bardock's plan wasn't finished. He didn't need to be the king, but to be listened to. So instead of a risky match, the Saiyan people will decide on the new king. As the Saiyan race always used to do, the king will always be the strongest of them. Since Bardock isn't fighting in this tournament, the last one standing will be the king. As the tournament begins, the duels ended fast. The final match is decided between Vegeta and Hanesha. Bardock does something weird. He calls for Hanesha and says, "Do not kill Vegeta, because once he become an adult, he will be stronger than you. The future for all Saiyans depend on it." As the story goes on, we see Broly and his father. In this timeline, King Vegeta didn't send Broly to a faraway planet. The fight between Hanesha and Vegeta starts, with Vegeta going at her with a punch that she blocks. As the fight goes on, Vegeta gets the upper hand. We see that when he delivers a kick, then dodges a key blast and goes up in the air. She follows him and their fight continues. They're exchanging blows left and right. In the match, Vegeta starts to lose, launches him down to the arena. She says playtime is over. As he crashes, he's not gonna give up. He will become the king, as he says. Hanesha launches at him and says, "Maybe in your next life." As she delivers the last attack, Bardock is watching. He warned her not to do that, but she says that his last wish as king has been respected. He will live. With that, Vegeta lived and Hanesha became the new queen of all Saiyans. With the new queen, for years the Saiyans continued their conquest and expanded in the universe. How the Saiyans acted towards the planet was far more worse than what Frieza was doing. Now that they have control, nothing will stop this race, the race that always seeks what's beyond of its grasp. This is why they act this way. Now years passed. We see a different Broly. A Broly that can destroy whole planets by himself. One that roams the universe since he was a baby. He feels the energy of the next planet and goes there. Nobody tells him to calm down. He can have all the fun he wants. He is free. As we see, Cooler is worried. His plans are being destroyed by just one Saiyan. Could he be the legendary Super Saiyan that Frieza feared? He find a temporary peace. Even the strongest warriors are no match for his power. All he could hope for is he gets strong opponents soon, and his wish is fulfilled as Cooler's ship lands where Broly is. Cooler and his dad arrive. As Broly sees them, he charges at them and Cooler hits him with one punch, sending him crash into everything in his way. But he's just happy. At last, the power, he can use it. As he powers up, he transforms to the legendary Super Saiyan state. On that day, the whole universe is in awe, and they're witnessing the images of the Saiyan child who turned into a being of pure power. They never imagined to see the incredible demons being actually beaten by just one being. As we see the images of Broly beating King Cole and Cooler at the same moment, they're no match for the legendary Super Saiyan. On that day, he has beaten the last of Frieza's kind. We see that Vegeta was watching also what happened. We see that this Vegeta is just like the Vegeta that we've gotten in Dragon Ball Z. When he saw the Super Saiyan transformation, he wanted that power, he wanted it for himself, and he believes that he will someday become that. After what Broly did, the universe was in chaos, but the Saiyans continued their conquests, and the legendary Saiyan ran free, alone, unmanaged. We fast forward to year 754. Today is Vegeta's day. He will challenge Hanesha for the throne, but as he walks out of his room, Saiyans passing by tell him that the legendary Saiyan has arrived. Broly is back. As he meets the Queen of the Saiyans, he smiles and says that he defies her for the throne. She accepts his offer, and their fight, as it starts with just one attack, he cuts her in half. As Bardock is on a faraway planet, he gets a call telling him that Broly has returned to planet Vegeta, and the first thing he did was to kill Hanesha. Now he's the new king. We could expect that Bardock is angry or sad that his friend, the Queen of the Saiyans, has lost her life, but as he says, he isn't. He saw that in a vision a long time ago. No surprises here. When he gets back, he will be polite and greet the new king. He says, Hanesha, your time was up. Rest in peace. This is, in my opinion, is just wrong. Bardock should have never done that. Even though she was his friend, someone who helped him defeat Frieza, someone who stood by his side when he needed her. He knew what will happen to her. He didn't stand for her, because if he did, he would have saved her, yes, but he would have changed the future, and he didn't want that. He knows that Vegeta is the key. King Broly was short-tempered and violent, but that was just accepted in the Saiyan race. After all, they are a vicious species. Vegeta studied the king with extreme jealousy. At first, Vegeta was in fear, then in anger, then in hate, and then in suffering. With that, he managed to transform to a Super Saiyan. He put himself through a ruthless training. He couldn't get anywhere near the king. In his self-loathing, it awakens. The Super Saiyan isn't limited to Broly. This is what it takes to become a Super Saiyan. Everyone has its ways. With Vegeta, his jealousy, hatred, the strive to become strong. He hears a voice from behind him. It's Bardock. He says that he's been waiting 20 years since he saw his vision. Now he's the only warrior who can stand against Broly. He says that Vegeta's gonna defy him for the throne, but even now he's still inferior to the power of the legendary Saiyan. He's been searching for years for a way to defeat him. So Vegeta asks him, why would you help me to become the king? As he says, Broly will eventually get a map and destroy all the galaxies, killing all the Saiyans, but you won't. Each time he devised a plan, a vision would tell him if it would work, and after a long time, he came up with the perfect one, a plan to defeat the legendary Saiyan. Vegeta agrees to Bardock's plan, even though he didn't like it at first. Vegeta defies Broly for the throne. As he's in front of him, he transforms to a Super Saiyan. Broly is excited. Some challenge at last. They fight a planet and go there. When they arrive, we could see that it's a stronghold. As they land, they take out everybody on there. When they finish, Broly transforms and tells Vegeta, show me what you have. As Vegeta says, as you wish, my king. The fight between the legendary Saiyan and the former prince of all Saiyans begins. Vegeta gets behind him and strikes him from the back. He blocks one of Broly's attacks and punches him so hard, sending him crashing to the wall. Broly just gets angry. He actually sucks at fighting. He has more raw power than him, but he can take him out by himself. Broly gets up in the air and starts firing ki blasts towards Vegeta. But what's the point of so many ki blasts if he can't hit even a single one of them? So now Vegeta will show him how it's done. As he powers up more, he tells him, stay put, time to finish you off. He fires the final flash towards Broly, but Broly just powers up and takes the attack. Vegeta just laughs and laughs, and from the smoke we could see a light. It's Broly. He says, I'm Broly, king of Saiyans. So Vegeta in anger goes at him, but Broly transformed to his final form. With Vegeta's punch, nothing happens. So he goes in with a kick and a barrage of attacks, one after the other, but none of them do anything. Broly grabs him by his face and grinds him through the ground. He didn't give up. He fires a ki blast towards Broly, but we know it has no effect. Broly just stands on him. Soldiers start firing at their location. As the arena explodes, Vegeta gets away. They attack Broly, but he beats them with ease. From behind him, Vegeta calls for him. He says, the station is gone. Let us fight on this planet. As they go there, the soldiers say, the fools. Something is with this planet, but what is it? Broly stands on it, but Vegeta doesn't. He says, yes, it's time to end it. I had to use Bardock's plan after all. We see that the planet is starting to take Broly's body. Broly sinking to it, and he can't stop it. As he screams, Vegeta gets away and says, Bardock was right. This entire plan is made of something that can even kill the legendary Saiyan. And now, I am the strongest of all. With that, Broly is gone. Once again, the Saiyan's empire grew. The new king of all Saiyans, King Vegeta. By his side is his father and Bardock. They will continue their plan to rule over all of the universe. With that concludes the story of the new Saiyan King, the story of just a small part of Dragon Ball Multiverse. This was the story of a new Saiyan being born, the always distant Saiyan, the Saiyan that was always destined to become the king of hope of the future, and how just one small act that Bardock did saved the entire Saiyan race. This was the story of the new king. Thank you for watching, and saying that, I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.